5-minute penalty to Chicago, a game misconduct, and then Manson having words with Steven. And now Butcher gets into it. We're going to have a brawl, folks. Stand by.
Yo, what up, everybody? Tyler Cash here with another episode of Fourth Line Goon Hockey Podcast. Just chatting with my boy Tommy. We got another week, a couple weeks until the regular season's over, and then we got some playoff hockey. How you feeling, bud?
Good. Yeah, I think Blues are in a more comfortable spot. Knights are still fighting for dear life. It's a good stretch. Good stretch to be in.
I wouldn't say that dear life. I'd say they're fighting. They're clawing a little bit, but the Kings lost last night to the Calgary Flames. They have a game in hand against the Knights. So like they're only 4 points up, and then the Knights still have a game to make up. So it's not actually that bad as it was looking prior to that win streak, because the Knights are on a 5 or 6 game win streak. They host Vancouver tomorrow here in Las Vegas, and I'm very excited. I'm going to be attending the game with my mom. She's turning 60, so we're going to celebrate her 60th birthday, hopefully with a win. I don't know that Vancouver's ever beat Vegas at their barn. I don't think so at all. I'm almost confident with like I would put $100 on that bet without having to Google it. I know you're going to Google it. And
I'm going to try. I don't know if I'm going to find it.
You're going to be like, oh, there's an overtime loss there or something. No, I'm pretty sure that they've never lost to Vancouver in Vegas, but I could be wrong. If not, it's an overwhelming record in their favor for sure.
What about playoffs? No?
Okay, well, let's talk regular season.
Oh, okay.
Well, obviously, it went Game 7 in playoffs. So, I mean, maybe I don't know. I'm feeling confident, right? They got Vancouver, then they're playing Arizona, and then they're going back up to Vancouver to play again. It's a very easy stretch as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully they make up some ground. And I think they're going for Nashville, man. That's been my most recent tinfoil hat guesstimate is that Nashville's going to fall off because they got a hell of a stretch. I see that they're playing Calgary twice. They have Edmonton, who's also in the hunt. I believe that they're playing Tampa. They play Florida. They play all the guys that are for sure locks for playoffs. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks. And if we don't make it in, it's going to suck ass. But at least we're getting exciting hockey now. Shea Theodore scoring that overtime winner the other night was a great surprise. I believe he's got goals in 3 straight. Him and Petro are at like the 40-point mark. So like heating up at the right time. I'm feeling good. But here's the question. How are you feeling about the goaltending situation? Because I'm going to continuously bring that up because Binnington had a horrible showing the other night, right? Like, so, yeah, I mean, Husso had to come in and save his fucking ass. So where's your thought with that?
I mean, watch the game. It's just the team didn't play. I just don't understand the mentality of playing in front of one guy, not playing in front of another. That's seemingly what's happening because the team played like complete ass. And like, I don't care if you had Dominik Hasek in his prime, Martin Brodeur in his prime, Igor Shesterkin right now for the Blues in net. Like it's still at least a 4-1 game when he gets pulled regardless. It's a weird dynamic and that's something to get fixed. I don't think the situation of not starting too often is helping the guy. I mean, there's also been the theory going around of like he had COVID. Maybe he's dealing with a similar like a la James Neal where he had COVID last year and just never recovered from it and didn't feel right. There's hard to say. It's really hard to say. And
speaking of James Neal, the great value deal, is it 16 points and 18 or 16 goals in like 18 games you shared the other day?
Yeah, something stupid. And he's just rotting into the AHL, which is nuts.
Good for him for being a trooper, right? Like, because he does have an ego, and you would think that fuck you. I'm not reporting to the goddamn Springfield. What is it? The Springfield Thunderbirds? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think that's it.
What is it? Is that Springfield, Missouri that they're in?
No. It's Massachusetts. So it's way away.
Oh. See, here I was thinking that he could like vacation to Branson on the weekends. Got a nice little Airbnb with the mini golf and maybe some bumper carts, right? Some go-karts.
Could work out.
That'd be a lot nicer than, well, I don't know. Massachusetts and like that upper, East Coast is beautiful, especially around this time of year. So I guess it could be worse.
True. Yeah. I mean, much worse things to have to worry about, right?
Do you think he's going to make an appearance? Are they going to have to call him up like right before playoffs, or can they like set their roster afterwards? How does that work?
I mean, you don't have a salary cap once playoffs start, so you can kind of have, it's like the Black Aces effect, right? You have all these guys who are on the roster, but no one's really ever going to see playing time. That's probably similarly what you'll see with James Neal. I would maybe assume, depending on if Thunderbirds make a deep run in the Calder Cup, but we'll see.
James Neal, Calder Cup champ at age like 34 years old.
Yeah.
I don't think he was going to have that on his LinkedIn profile personally, but I mean, hey, if they have to call him up due to injuries or something, and he winds up lighting it up, how hilarious would that be? Like contributing to the Blues during a playoff run.
Yeah, that would be something. I would love to see it. My jersey would come out. My Blues James Neal jersey, probably the only one in existence.
You know what? If anyone watching this has a James Neal St. Louis Blues jersey, please comment. Please reach out and let us know, because I know that Tommy went and picked his up when James Neal scored the 3 in, what was it, preseason?
Dude, it was getting pressed before the game even started. Like, yeah, it's great.
Okay, so you didn't hop on the bandwagon. You committed right in the beginning before he had.
I need to know what number he had. Saw it in pre-skate, ran at the store, said I need this jersey.
That's beautiful. And so if you have a St. Louis Blues James Neal jersey, please contribute. Or even better, a Thunderbirds jersey would be ideal. That'd be great. I think you need to add that to your collection, right?
We'll see. Yeah, the Springfield, like the donut one from The Simpsons. That's the one I need.
Oh, I haven't seen that. That sounds awesome.
They do like every year. They do like the Springfield Isotopes.
Oh, that's right. That's them that does that, huh?
Yeah. That'd be sick to have. But also, fun fact: Vancouver has won once in Vegas. I was gonna say the 2020 playoffs didn't count because that was the bubble, but they've won once in a shootout in Vegas in 2018. That's it.
So they haven't won in regulation in Vegas. So I mean, hey, I'll take a point out of it. I mean, the Knights should dominate. Hopefully, they need to make up these points, especially when teams like the Kings and the Predators starting to kind of fall off just a little bit. So I don't know. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm off tomorrow, so I think we might hit the strip a little early. Maybe partake in a little nacho dade, if you will.
Could be good.
Have a couple of drinks and then walk on over. I mean, going to a game there is awesome. Like, I mean, you came in a lot, so hopefully they make playoffs and they can continue this, because that Toshiba Plaza down there is hype. It's all the hype.
The Midwest coming out, the Plaza.
Did I say it weird? Plaza.
Plaza.
Oh shit! Yeah, you can't take the Missouri out of the boy. So let's talk let's talk recent news, and we're talking so recent that it happened today. So we're actually getting on top of our game. Look at us go. We're having an episode every week. We're actually beating the Chicklets boys out to some of these news flashes, because they normally put it out, I think, on Friday, right? So some of these episodes that we're actually getting out, we're recording on Tuesday, getting out there Wednesday. Just saying, you guys need to up your game, boys. If you catch this, Grinnell, I'm calling you out, because you're the one editing this shit still. But yeah, news break. Let's talk about it. I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty cool because I should be in attendance for it. Ryan Getzlaf announced his retirement from NHL, or not his retirement, but he is retiring at the end of this season. Ducks captain, 17 years in the league, all with Anaheim. He's had 2 or 3 years here where he could have gotten traded, could have made another cup run, just didn't do it. Stayed loyal, stayed true. Rare to see, I feel like, in these days, especially like look at Claude Giroux, for example, right? He jumped to the Panthers, and obviously Getzlaf was a way less cap hit, I think less of a productive player than Giroux at this point in his career, but either way. Yeah, over 1,150 games played, over 1,000 points in his career, 3 All-Star games, 2 Olympic gold medals, Stanley Cup. His final game will actually be in about 3 weeks in Anaheim, Blues versus Ducks. They announced that at home game. I think they have a couple games after that, but they announced this will be his last game. I actually heard that I think he's in a walking boot right now too.
Shit.
I don't know if he's going to play a whole lot between now and then, but that's going to be his last game for sure. And I think the question is, Hall of Fame, Hall of Very Good. Where does Ryan Getzlaf land?
I tell you what, I feel way more comfortable with Ryan Getzlaf making the Hall of Fame over Corey Perry.
Yeah.
And I see people are arguing, oh, well, him and Corey Perry should be inducted right next to each other. And I don't see that argument. I mean, Corey Perry, maybe if he wins another cup with Tampa on that fourth line bruiser that he's got going on with Maroon and Belmar. I don't know. It's weird that we're talking about Corey Perry continuously playing in the NHL, probably for years to come, hopping from team to team, trying to chase that second cup. And here we are, Getzlaf. He's like, nah, I'm good. I know he signed that 1-year extension last year or this year. And it was a weird rumor that the Knights were interested in bringing him in for the playoffs last year. Some teams were kind of kicking around. So yeah, I'm with you, dude. I think it's cool that he played 17 seasons with one team. And, you know, he got to get the ultimate goal. And yeah, towards the end, he really wasn't putting the puck in the net, you know, often, but he was still accumulating assists, contributing to the team with leadership. Here's my question, though. Bunch of young guys, right? You got Corey Perry gone, Getzlaf gone. Who's going to wear the C? From there, are they just going to wait around for, you know, the next? Is it going to be Zegras for calling out homeboy for fighting? Who was it? We did. That's not in the notes. We should talk about that.
I was gonna bring that up next. Yeah, I mean,
is it gonna be him?
I don't think he can do it. I mean, I think it might go like if you're talking leadership and someone who's still on the team, I think it'd go Cam Fowler. Like he's still got like 4 or 5 years, I think, left on his deal. He's 30. He's been with the team for pretty much forever. I think that's the go-to guy for sure. Him or Henrique, but probably Fowler makes way more sense.
Yeah, well, Henrique has been injured, right, for a majority of the season, so who knows if he's on his way out too here shortly, right? He's got to be getting up there in age.
Yeah, 32.
Yeah, they're all. I mean, and you know, they ultimately they got the cup. You know, they did their job, and it's not their fault that. Well, I guess it is their fault, but I mean, it's not every team is able to contribute multiple cups within their reign of these players being on the roster. But yeah, let's leeway into that. I know
hang on before we do it.
Okay.
Getzlaf, yes or no, Hall of Fame?
You know, I have to say yes, just because of the 2 gold medals in the Olympics. I mean, it's the Hockey Hall of Fame, not the NHL.
My gut tells me, like, depending on the class he goes in with, or he's up against his first ballot, I say like second or third ballot Hall of Famer for me for sure.
Yeah, I think that the Olympics they're kind of sealing the deal for me.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll let you transition now.
Okay, so the leeway, obviously, Trevor Zegras speaks out in a post game interview after they just demolished. What team is Jay Beagle even fucking playing for these days? What team is that?
Coyotes legend.
What? Oh, Coyotes. Okay,
Coyotes
so
legend, baby.
What was it? 5-1, 2 minutes left. Jay Beagle just basically goes after Troy Terry, pulls him down.
Oh, give the context. Did you know the full context?
I watched it, but it was a scrum in front of the net. I just know that Troy Terry never dropped his mitts, hit the ground, got pretty fucked up. And I don't know, Jay Beagle was on the giving end of that fucking up, if you will. So yeah, Trevor Zegras had that post-game interview, which is hilarious because his age truly shows. He's got to be, what, 20? Is he even 21?
I think he's 20. Yeah.
He's just like, it reminded me of those YouTube videos where they're making fun of beer league press conferences. Yeah. He's just like, bro, not even going to say his name, bro. But like, you know, like, watch it, dude. Like, you need to watch it. And he's like looking over his shoulder, like he thinks he's going to get jumped or something. That cracked my shit up. But yeah, I'll let you, give a better analysis of the situation.
Yeah. So it's like 5-1. There's like 2 minutes left. Like the puck's under the goalie, and like Zegras goes to the crease, and he's like jamming away at the goal. Like, you're up 5-1. Like, is that really necessary? And then of course, Beagle comes in, gives him I thought like a soft cross check to his back. He probably was expecting it, went down, probably knocked the wind out of him. And then Troy Terry comes skating in from the right faceoff scarecrow right into Jay Beagle, and like has his hands up high on him and like goes at it with him. And like, I feel like Beagle, worst team in the league, really frustrated. Like, all right, you're coming at me, fuck you, I'm gonna start throwing punches. And like, I feel like you should expect that. But I think the flip side of it is, and like, I hope the Ducks see this too going forward, because Teemu Selanne called it out as well, where you don't have any toughness on the team. You traded away Delorier for a pick for the future, and now you don't have a guy threw up 10 fights this year for the Ducks. He has one with the Wild too. you don't have any tough guys to stand up for your young guys. Like if that would have happened, Dorley on the ice or not, like next shift, there's still 2.5 minutes left in the game. He's going after a coyote. Something's going to happen. And so you don't do those things, or you have a price
Corey
to
Perry.
pay for it. Yeah. Corey Perry even too. And it's just like, it's a learning lesson, I think, for Terry. I think it's a learning lesson for Zegras that you guys are young, you guys are skilled. This is not your part of your game, nor should it ever be, because you're going to have stuff like this happen. And you need guys in the game to protect yourselves. It's not saying it needs to be 1990s hockey where your enforcer is going to, scream at every player on the other team and hunt people down, but like just have someone who has some toughness to be like, hey, fuck off. You're not going to touch my players. What you got to deal with me? They just don't have it right now. And pretty much from now until the end of the season, just about anybody can walk all over the Ducks and no one's really going to be able to do anything. Like who you have to worry about, like Kevin Shattenkirk, Cam Fowler, like Ryan Getzlaf, an old man now. Like no offense, Getzlaf, but like, it's
right.
What are you going to do?
And let's face it, Shaddy is only fighting off the urge to continuously shave his hairline back. That's the only thing is that you're seeing out of him. He's in Anaheim for the money and the beaches. That's why he's there, and that's why he took the contract. Hey, they can go after Tom Wilson. I think that the Capitals are in need of a goalie right now. Just send Gibby over, right? 1-for-1, Tom Wilson for John Gibson.
Yeah.
Let's see it happen.
Good luck with
that. But yeah, so hell of a career. Congratulations to Getzlaf when he does finally retire. It's exciting that you're going to be there for that potentially. And yeah, I mean, if you're a Ducks fan, you got to love what he's done for the organization. And, he probably could have went on to play a season or two, but he knows that it's best for the team. Step back and maybe take a position in the front office, or at least be some sort of alumni presence when it comes to promoting the team. It's very exciting.
Hey now, what's up, Goons? Tyler Cash here, and it's time to pause the podcast and chat a bit about our amazing sponsors over at Schlafly Brewing Company. Hockey and beer. Does it get any better? I don't think so. Schlafly has been brewing up some of the best beer I've ever had for many years, and it's officially that time of year for their famous Raspberry Hefeweizen. It's one of my personal favorites. Their Raspberry Hefeweizen distinguishes itself among others in that it's a true fruit beer. None of this fruit-flavored crap. It uses real raspberry in the brewing process. Once the fruit sugar ferments out, the aroma and flavor stay in, making this a delightful drinkable beer that's not too sweet or tart. It's refreshing and balanced with a natural hazy pink coloring. Because it's low in alcohol, it brings out a smooth dose of weediness, and it's perfect for summer. It's perfect for any time. Download the Schlafly app or visit schlafly.com to locate and devour yours today. That's SCHLAFLY.com. Schlafly Beer. Drink Mo Beer. This podcast is brought to you by 1 in a Million Handyman Services Incorporated. 1 in a Million is a family-run local company that's been serving the Las Vegas, Nevada area for over 15 years. They are licensed and insured throughout Clark County and travel as far as Boulder City, Henderson, Las Vegas, and North Las Vegas. 1 in a Million specializes in smaller home repairs, but also tackles commercial repairs. They've worked around the Strip, residential homes, commercial buildings, you name it, 1 in a Million has made their mark. With a 4.5-star Yelp review and countless of happy customers throughout the 15 years, you can guarantee you'll be happy with their services. All previous customers can refer an unlimited amount of friends and family for a $25 referral credit, which would come off of any future projects and or repairs if they decide to use 1 in a Million. This offer also extends to the Fourth Line Goon listeners. Mention this podcast and you will receive a $25 referral credit that will come off of the total cost of your repairs. 1 in a Million is open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and you can find them on the web at juaninamill.com. That's JUANINAMILL.com, or you can also find them at juan.inamill on Instagram. 1 in a Million Handyman Services won't let you down. Check them out.
So yeah, moving on. Brad Marchand. He hit a guy. What else is new? Big hit, left Blue Jackets Andrew Peak face down on the ice. you and I, sometimes we agree on this, sometimes we don't. The big question is here, is it clean or not? There obviously was no discipline from the league, so let's throw that out. So the league doesn't weigh in. We're talking about this right after it happens. What is your take on it? I kind of feel, you know what, I asked for your take and I'm giving you mine first. I kind of feel like his size is a big problem, right? Brad Marchand's got little man syndrome. He's very small. So when he's trying to go up for that shoulder to shoulder contact, it doesn't always quite connect the way he wants it to. But in my opinion, he led off with 1 foot. The puck was already sent, and he kind of clips him in the neck. And it may not be a headshot as much as it was just not in the right place. I don't think he intentionally meant for it to be dirty, but it was weird that there was no penalty called, no discipline. And I'm pretty sure that resulted in a Bruins goal that was sent down to DeBrusk, who just netted it because he was all alone. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I think it was dirty. I don't think it's suspension worthy, but it's kind of weird there was no penalty or a fine.
Yeah, I mean, I would call it borderline. I think at best. I think it was a weird combination of like Andrew Peak, the guy he hit, goes in and plays the puck, and also is like, as he's playing the puck, he's like stopping, and Marchand's committed to the hit and stopping. Like maybe he ends up hitting his back shoulder versus his neck/chest area. And yeah, like you said, that did lead to a Bruins goal, which sucked. He left the game for a bit. He did come back. So thankfully, at least short term, there's not a lot of damage done. But yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where I think it's kind of nice that the league is kind of being like, was this borderline? Yeah. Was anything wrong from it from a technicality standpoint of like what a high hit is or hit to the head or whatever? No. And we're gonna not punish this guy because he's Brad Marchand. We're gonna try and be a little more consistent. Like maybe this is a step in the right direction. I'm probably being extremely naive in how the NHL Department of Player Safety is, but it was nice to not see, oh, you're Brad Marchand, you have a questionable hit, you have a hearing, or here's a fine just because you're Brad Marchand type of a thing. So
well, if he has a hearing, then he's a reoccurring problem, right? So then it would be it would have to be a massive punishment.
It could be,
to just to have another hearing that soon to his last suspension. I mean, that's unfortunately how it goes, but it's nice that they're looking at this in a standpoint where they're like, is there intent? Was he headhunting? No, he wasn't. He didn't like stride into him three or four glides and then take him out. It's just, he's a short guy. And I think that the hit was unfortunate. Glad to see that Peak returned to the game. That's about the long and short of it. Is just, it's a gritty game. And I actually appreciate that Marchand plays as aggressively as he does, as long as he's not intentionally headhunting. And that's when it becomes a problem with his antics. So moving on with another problem, I think personally is going on right now in the league. The Jets win in an overtime shootout goal from Blake Wheeler on Craig Anderson. Some might call it controversial. Some of us might say that, that's just how the shootout works. But my thing is, it looks like, so Blake Wheeler, if you haven't seen it, which you should dig it up and watch it and then listen to the rest of this podcast, he does an abrupt stop, but then does the glide, right? Which is a move that a lot of players are doing now because they're still moving forward. I'm going to tell you right now, I think that's bullshit as it is. That abrupt stop should basically end it, as far as I'm concerned, because then you're questioning whether or not they're continuing forward properly in their movement never stops, and they don't ever fucking review it, and they don't ever look close enough for this. So just kill it. You just got to move forward, no abrupt stops whatsoever, as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, that's not my problem. He gets right up on the crease, which is insane too. That should also be a part of the shootout rule, to not be in the goalie's crease. And he just kind of stick handles the shit out of it. And yeah, Craig Anderson should have poke checked it away. That's a mistake on his part. But at one point, he seems to kind of take the puck back and side glide, and it's questionable whether or not he goes backwards. At that point, I think the play should have been dead. He roofs it. They win the game. Craig Anderson kind of gives a what the fuck, but I mean, he's been in the league for long enough to know that he's not going to win that argument. Skates off, and it's not like the Sabres are needing that point per se to make playoffs or anything like that. Actually, it benefits them to lose that point when it comes to the draft lottery. But my take is that the league really needs to sit down and maybe rehash the thought process with the shootout, because a lot of people hate it anyways, just want more 3-on-3 overtime. And when you have controversial goals like this, it's kind of hard to defend.
Yeah, I mean, to me, he definitely took the puck back. Like, he has it in the crease. He makes 2 moves. He takes it out of the crease and then roofs it. So it's like puck clearly went back. Have they really ever called this except on a spin move where it's blatant that it goes backwards? No. Do I expect that to change going forward? Probably not, because I feel like the shootouts become more and more insignificant as time has gone on. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where, yeah, should the goalie have poke checked? Yeah, maybe, sure. But like the fact that you can get in that close and make like 7 dekes, especially ones that aren't forward or sideways, but like actually backwards. It's just like, at what point are you just like, okay, this isn't a shootout anymore. This is just, I'm going to make as many moves as I possibly can. And I get to choose when the goalie bites. And I basically get the last say always, versus I need to shoot the puck. I'm running out of space. I mean, I'm fine with the stop and glide move because they're still moving forward. But like, again, when the puck comes in the crease, you make a couple dekes and you pull it literally out of the crease by about 3 or 4 inches and then roof it. Like, I don't think it's more obvious than that personally.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it seems like it's almost what's stopping the goalie from charging him and sliding out and tackling him almost. Because like that's not a penalty in a regular game. So why can't they come out and challenge him? And I don't know. I mean, they could. Yeah, I guess they could. It would be just a sticky situation, whether or not they could. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, you look brilliant. But I think you've brought it up many times. I know a lot of people have this argument. It just makes more sense to extend 3v3. And I like the shootout. I think it's exciting. But, I mean, let's eliminate these weird, 20 deke moves, in front of the net. And let's just give it 10-minute 3v3 and see if that changes how often the shootout happens. And then maybe if the shootout is less common, when these things happen, we just kind of laugh it off. If you can't seal the deal in 90 minutes and then another 10 minutes in overtime 3v3, then I think all the rules should be thrown out the window. Then I'm okay with it. Like, it's just that 5 minutes is not enough to really seal the deal. You go to a shootout, this guy does a crazy situation, makes you look like an asshole, and then that's what you got.
You say 90 minutes? Where are you getting 90 minutes from?
Did I say 90 minutes?
You said 90 minutes.
60 minutes of regular ice time. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm making sure we're on the same page. Like, it's like an extra overtime period.
Hey, let's make each period 30 minutes. Say fuck it and go. Okay, so with that being said, before we move on to the next point, do you think that goal should have counted?
I mean, no. I think that's one of the more obvious ones. I mean, there's some where you're like, maybe, but like it happened so quick where it was just, you had so much time to see it go backwards and then still not call it. Like, yeah, I'm not a fan of it personally.
The refs just want to get out of there. At that time, they're not going to analyze it, which is weird because they're over analyzing everything these days. But yeah, I don't think it's a goal either, personally. Auston Matthews with the Hattie against the Tampa Bay Lightning, bringing him to 54 goals on the season. Just an unreal year. The question is, can he continue to contribute this successfully, this much going into the postseason? There's a game going on right now. Is that what you're looking up to see if he's put up anything?
No.
Okay, so I know the Marner just did an unreal shorty that looked incredible. And the Leafs look great. But that's not really my point with this. Do we think Auston Matthews is going to show up this year?
Playoffs?
Yeah. They're going to make it, obviously. So is he going to continue the streak?
Well, I don't think the question is Auston Matthews going to show up? I think is the rest of the Leafs going to show up personally. I mean, we all know it's a different game in the playoffs. Like the Leafs, I mean, they have Kyle Clifford. They have Wayne Simmons. Like they have some toughness, but like, are they a team that is going to be okay with getting pushed around? We'll see again, right? But are they going to be a team that can get a lead in the series or a game and consistently hold it? We'll see, especially with the goaltending that they have, and we have a question mark back there right now. But I think Auston Matthews will be fine. It's a question of will the team around him be fine?
I mean, here's the thing, though, and this is where Statman Tyler comes at Statman Tommy. 1 goal in 7 games from fucking Auston Matthews last year, and then 2 goals in 5 games prior to that. I mean, you can't have your star forward who's about to net 60 easy on the year go cold when it comes to playoffs. And that almost brings up the argument that should you be benching him? Should you be scratching him now? You already secured your playoff spot, or as soon as they lock in, they clinch. Like, do you rest him or do you let him keep riding out? Because, I mean, if he's a ghost, then you got nothing.
I mean, I don't think that's the way to look at it. Leafs, what he's been in the postseason 5 years now. The Leafs, they have yet to make it out of the first round. 3 game sevens, lost all 3 game sevens. Like, it's brutal. And it's not just him. There's so many other players. Like, what's Mitch Marner doing? What's John Tavares doing? You know, what's Jake Muzzin when he's healthy doing in these instances? Like, not good stuff. So, like, I don't think it's fair to put the onus on him, because what do you do as a underdog? All right, let's go and shut down their top performer at all costs and make them work for it. And that's what's happened. And Matthews is a victim of that. But again, I don't think it's all on his shoulders. I think it's completely on the team, because one single guy isn't going to carry you in a 7-game series ever. So that's my opinion.
Fair. Yeah. So I was going to look that up just for.
I think he has like 40, it's either 46 goals in 47 games. This last 47 games for Matthews, or 47 and 47. It's nuts.
It's absolutely nuts. And yeah, you're right. Goose eggs across the board from Marner. So granted, they were shooting against Carey Price, and he's a stud when he's healthy and in net and performing, which we saw last year. But yeah. I mean, you can't have that kind of performance from your studs when it comes to playoffs and expect to make it out of the first round. And I guess that's what it's like to be a Leafs fan, unfortunately. So yeah, moving on, last topic before we get to questions, which it's kind of like similar to what we were talking about. You brought up the toughness, having Wayne Simmons on the bench and Kyle Clifford, and that same game, actually, Wayne and Pat Maroon were chirping each other from the bench, not even on the ice, from the bench. Ref comes over and goes, "Get the fuck out of here, both of you, 10 minutes. I think it was a game misconduct. It wasn't even unsportsmanlike. Yeah. So, and I mean, has a league really gone that soft to where they're giving 10 minutes for chirping? That sounds like some beer league shit.
Yeah, I don't know. That's silly. I mean, we'll never see it in a playoff game. If we do, I'm very question what the hell's going on with the league. But I don't know if refs having a bad day. I don't know if the conversation was maybe around the refs in general, and they're just like, fuck this, we're not hearing this anymore, get in the box. Like, who knows? But
if it was that inappropriate, though, wouldn't it have been unsportsmanlike conduct? That seems like a really weird penalty to take while 2 dudes are just chirping.
So that's what I'm wondering. Like, we need to know the context. Like, if it's something about the refs, if it's something about something along those lines, like, yeah, maybe you know, reconsider that. But if it's just like, oh, fuck you too, and just kind of like trash talking back and forth, then what are you doing? Yeah, that's my take.
Well, I know the big rig had some choice words. He was like, dude, this is weak. We're literally chirping. And it looked like when they were both going to the box, Simmons was kind of laughing it off too. Like, really? This is like one of the dumbest penalties I've ever taken. Either way, I know it's finals for a lot of us out there playing fantasy hockey. So that probably helped quite a few people. Pat Maroon dropping a couple F-bombs and Wayne Simmons contributing as well. So yeah, that brings us up to date.
Well, I was going to say real quick that AHL game where you have the scorekeeper's point of view with like, you want to fucking go? And then they jump out of the box and they both just throw. Like, that was amazing. If anyone hasn't seen that, it's pretty fucking
It's a
sweet.
beauty. Head on over to our Facebook or our TikTok while the fight still exists on there. It's a beauty. It's a lot of fun, man. It's cool. Number 19, it looks like is that the AHL team for the Dallas Stars? Because it says Texas
Stars. Yeah,
I don't know, whoever that dude is. He's a hard ass, man. That's fucking rad. So yeah, go watch that. Definitely worth your time. We posted it on Facebook and all that great stuff. Let's go into questions. And the first question is from our friends over at World Hockey Report. Make sure you check them out. I've been on their show. They do some great shit on the Twitter sphere, if you will. They want to know, if Vegas misses playoffs, who all gets traded and fired. My 2 cents is very simple. I don't think anyone gets traded or fired. The only people who are getting traded is to get under cap. I think they're going to use the injury bug as an excuse to keep jobs in order, which makes sense because, I mean, you're only going to be as good as the team you can field. So I don't think a lot has changed or is going to change. And I put my 2 cents in on that last episode.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can make depending on how things go on the stretch, maybe you can make a case for Pete DeBoer. Maybe you can make a case for Kremen with the Dadonov thing, but I feel like that would have happened already and he would already be gone personally. However, yeah, I think the same with the own. Like, I don't think there's going to be a mass exodus here. I think if anything, it's just we have to we know who we want, we know who we have, we know the situation with the cap. We're going to just do everything we can to just basically sit right at the top and be done with it. I think that's it. Just move players out to get cap compliant. That's my take.
Brandon Dalton wants to know, will Flower be the starter they needed for the playoffs? I guess he's talking controversy with that because he's starting tonight. I know a lot of Wild fans are chiming in because Talbot's been playing out of his mind. I don't know, man. I still think they're going to go with Talbot. Game 1 of playoffs, I don't think Fleury starts, and that's my 2 cents on that. I don't even really need to elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a situation too where, like I said, traded for you shipped out Kokkonen, you traded for Fleury, and now you have an absolute real threat in, oh shit, my job's on the line here. I need to figure something out quick and play my ass off. And that's what Talbot's done. To be fair, Fleury's been pretty good as well. Last 3 games, I think he's let up 5 goals, won all 3 of them for the Wild. So nothing to sneeze at there either. But yeah, I mean, Talbot shut out the Knights, 2 wins against Vancouver and Colorado, and then another 1-goal performance against the Capitals here a couple days ago. Like, they're both playing really good. I think, yeah, you got to give it to the guy who's been there. And if he slips up, you should be try to be fully confident in what they have. I mean, the way it's matching up, the Blues might get it. So personally, with the numbers the Blues have against Fleury, I would love for Fleury to be in net, but still a lot of time before that.
I don't think it's likely personally. We'll do 2 more. Nephew Barnes wants to know, will Edmonton try to re-sign Evander Kane? I think it's obvious. Yeah. I mean, he's doing great. He proved himself. I mean, he's still a shit human being. And I'll take that to the grave for sure. But when it comes to hockey, he knows how to put the puck in the net. He's shown that on multiple teams. They'll probably try to extend him. But I'm assuming he's going to hit the open market and try to get term and save his ass so he can pay some of these bookies back.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to is ask, right? He's almost point per game player. 16 goals in 31 games with the Oilers. That's a pretty
gross vomit.
It's a pretty sick pickup, especially for my fantasy team. Not a big deal. But yeah, I mean, I think you got to try. I mean, he's making the cap equivalent of $2 million this year. It's prorated, signed him mid-season at the penalty there. So yeah, I mean, if you can get him for around that same number, go for it. Do I think he's going to get just $2 million? Probably not. But yeah, we'll see. Like we know in this league and a lot of others, conduct off the ice doesn't really dictate, getting paid to perform on the ice. So
is he getting bought out? Did he get bought out, or are they still trying to conclude how he's going to get paid from San Jose?
I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was a mutual termination, or did they move to terminate his contract?
Oh, so they probably settled for a sum of money or something.
Yeah, because he's not on their buyout list. So I think they either settled or, I think the Sharks terminated it, and maybe NHLPA is filing an appeal maybe on the back end or grievance or whatever. So I think that's something that hasn't necessarily come to light yet, because it's obviously a little unique, but I think we'll hear more about that probably this offseason.
Okay. Last question. We have two kind of, but last question and then one short guy. Wesley Bouchang on Twitter wants to know, with how well LT Logan Thompson has been playing and now having the return of Panda, obviously talking goaltending in Vegas, who does Vegas go to down the stretch? I think it's Robin Leonard, right? You're paying the guy $5 million. He's probably going to get the start tomorrow. He's probably going to get most of the starts for the foreseeable future to get him ready for playoffs. Fingers crossed. I think it's Leonard's net. Thompson did a great job. I think he's proven that he can be more than a capable backup. So if anything, I think that him being signed for the next 3 seasons after this just proves that they're going to trade Brossoit in the offseason.
Is Brossoit healthy at the moment, or am I crazy?
He's injured. He's out, but they said he's not coming back anytime soon. But I think it might be more of them being like, "Hey, man, you're not going to get these starts or these backups, and don't injure yourself further." I mean, that's pure speculation on my
skepticism,
speculation on my part. But yeah, it's definitely Robin Leonard's net. You're not going to put Logan Thompson in net to start, game one of the playoffs.
You got to remember too, Thompson's up on an emergency loan too. So as soon as Brossoit's healthy, he has to go back down, or you find cap space for him. So that's the only reason he's up. So I think it has to be Leonard. I mean, playoffs is a different story. You don't have to worry about being cap compliant or anything, but
Brossoit, or you can waive Brossoit too if you don't really want to use him. He's not on LTIR, he's on IR, so you can send him wherever, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, if I'm being honest. I think that would depend on who's coming back, i.e., Mark Stone, etc. I think that's going to be the biggest question mark, because without him coming back won't be a problem. With him coming back, I think it'll be a problem, because you only get like league minimum to bury a contract, and then Logan Thompson's making slightly over league minimum, like $800K. So I think that extra money makes it not doable. So depending on if Brossoit comes back or not, it could be a situation too where you have Brossoit and Leonard for the last 5 games, and maybe Logan Thompson's getting tune-up games in the AHL. Do you really want that guy getting AHL tune-up games to start your playoff run versus Leonard, who might be playing okay even? That's a good argument to have, honestly. And
I mean, I think it's slightly similar situation to Husso and Binnington, like where Binnington's been the proven guy, and he's probably going to be your guy game one of playoffs, and give him a short leash. Or like if down the stretch they keep, dropping shit, like, then you have a guy that is young and hungry, and that's, Logan Thompson in this spot. But you're paying Robin Leonard $5 million. He's a very loud dude too. I mean, I know he recently deleted his Twitter. We're not going to spend time talking about that like he's like some sort of celebrity and like, oh my God, Kim Kardashian move of deleting Instagram or whatever the deal is. Like, fuck that. He's a grown man and he's a strong dude, and he's worked his ass off to get that starting position. They traded away the face of the franchise for him. He's your guy. So if he's healthy and he's stopping pucks, he's your dude. But Logan Thompson is never going to be forgotten for helping them string along that 5-game winning streak and keep their playoff hopes alive. One last question. Auston Matthews, plain and simple. It's from I cannot pronounce your name, dude. Benchard Vincent. Benchard Vincent. I don't fucking know. He's leaving all the vowels out of his name. But anyways, will Auston Matthews break 60 goals? Simple answer. I say yes, easily.
I say no.
We want to bet a beer on this again?
I don't, but
no. Get out of here. Come on. Bet a beer. 1 beer.
No. He only needs 6. I'm not gonna bet on the guy I don't watch, if I'm being honest.
Oh, get out of here. Well, you're missing out on some good hockey. I say he does it. He's definitely he's 1 goal away from the Leafs record, the franchise record, which is very exciting. I say he does it. Tommy says he doesn't. I say he does it. Tommy says he doesn't.
He'll break the Leafs record. 60. I mean, it's possible. Maybe on I think if I have to have a hot take, is he's gonna get 60 on an empty net goal. That's not gonna be a legit goal. That's my hot take.
Okay. Well, yeah, make sure you guys chime in below. You guys have been awesome on YouTube, racking up those views, which is awesome, and commenting below. So make sure you guys let us know if you think he's going to hit 60. I'm with you on that one if you agree. That's all we got, man. fourthlinegoon.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We got a few more weeks left, and then we're in playoff hockey. We're getting in the thick of it, so we're really excited about it. Make sure you guys are following and subscribing. YouTube is going to be a big spot for us these days. And yeah, do you have anything to add here towards the end?
I got nothing. Let's watch some hockey down the stretch. We'll chat more a week from now. See where your head's at. See if you're happy. See if you're freaking out. We'll know more.
I'm confident. So cheers, everybody.
Later, guys.